It's basically an A-B, A-B. And there's one other part that you might have to tweak. It's basically A-B, A-B-C.
Okay.
Pretty quick.
Do you want that just at the quarter note pulse, or do you want?
Quarter's fine.
Yeah, I think that might be better. Yeah. Yep. Okie dokie. I think I can do it. I'm just gonna go through. We'll call it the verse, I guess, and let's just lay that first, just the root notes, and then we can figure out how to pad it after that. Get the accent on the second beat.
I'll ever be loved more than anything and lost in the fall.
Yep. Sure. Yeah. It's pretty, like I said, it's pretty quick. Yeah, it'll go right back into the first part. Yep. Yeah. Would it be better if I came in and just did this on the piano, like right in front of you? Let's do that.
Plus, I think we need a musical anchor as well.
I think you might be totally right.
Definitely, that I know, because you have too. So I can't tell you if you're out and you don't really know. Hang on, let me just set that up to record it here. Good?
Yep. Trying to pull up my flashlight.
Just turn the volume off there. Let's see if I got it. Okay, so that's like 3 cycles there, right? You know,
Right.
but let's just do it, and we'll just see where it goes.
Well, okay, with the A part,
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing it twice as long as there's going to be vocals. I was giving myself a little room, I guess.
Okay, that's okay.
So, vocals would come in there. So I did that every verse. So we could probably chop this down to a minute and a half.
That'll be perfect. Okay, so let's work on the vocal pad then.
Want to do that first?
Yeah, just so that you can have full new deal. What do you say?
Works for me.
How do you see it working? Just the way that you were kind of doing it, humming there?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. How big do you see it? So you can.
At least 3 part.
Okay.
But not necessarily like.
It's just not everybody doing the same thing.
I'm not thinking like fucking. Well, that might be cool too. I'm not sure if it should be that or if it should be moving like counterpoint to each other.
I think we should take that as sort of the guide. In fact, maybe you should even play that as on the piano. Sweet. So at least have those changes in the back of my mind.
I can do that.
Because I wasn't thinking that it was going to be as pretty as that. I was thinking more monk-like.
No, I was thinking like jazzcore.
Yeah.
With this shit.
If that's what you're thinking, then let's actually record that then.
Okay.
It's beautiful, Aaron.
Thanks, buddy.
I'll give you a 1 bar count.
Okay.
Actually, you'll hear the other one, the bass notes of the other one going on too. Not yet. Here you go. 4, 5, 6.
Start me over.
Just give me 1 more count. This is 4, 5, 6. Do you want me to match what you did on your bass notes?
Yes. That would be perfect.
So, if you come over here for, I don't actually.
Listen to the songs that the angels sing.
just trim the fat. I could be singing through all this, and then go back into B now. Yeah. You're the man. That's a nice note.
So I'm hearing the background vocal track, probably a bit more, less rhythmical, in the sense that, you know, the piano sounds wonderful like that. Don't know the whole picture yet, so once I know the whole picture, then we'll go over top of it.
If you want, I could just sing the main line over the piano for now. And we can go from there.
You think you can get with enough feeling if you don't have all the other vocals?
I think so.
Okay. I think that'd be better for me,
Okay.
because then, you know, usually I would start the other way around. But in this case, since you already have the melody that you want,
Yeah.
let's just do it.
Okay.
And then we can make everything work on that.
Exactly. I mean, I even fucking kind of love the piano.
Who's in?
Me.
Who's in for the egg?
What?
Who's in for the egg? Tree?
Nope.
Tree did his one shot of Jaeger for the year.
For the eclipse.
About a month ago, yeah.
AP?
I will, fine.
If you're gonna make me, I guess I have to.
He's on antibiotics.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, I wasn't taking antibiotics. I was, yeah, I wasn't.
Oh no, I bet
I'm just warning you. I think there's something wrong because it's actually warm. It's not like
Warm?
I don't even think it's room temperature. I think it's like.
Well, there's something wrong with the coil then.
Oh, look at what a good pour that was.
Dude, beautiful.
Holy crap. There you go.
AP you in?
No,
No,
antibiotic.
I'm just telling you, it'll improve it.
Yeah.
Antibiotics are even better.
I don't want this.
All right.
It's evolving when
So
you're not.
here's to last recording day, I guess, right?
It's
At
last.
least for you guys, not for me, but for you guys.
Your post-production.
Yeah.
Go
Let's make
team.
let's make the chicks cry.
This is what it sounds like when Aaron cries. Doop, 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 doop.
Thank you, sir.
Throws at the top on them.
Yes, sir. I think when Prince was saying when the doves cry.
Oh. You need anything from the store?
Can't ride a brand new jazz standard without taking a shit first. That's what I say. What? You know? Skip it! It's a fucking true story. I wouldn't lie to you. Not about my hat. It's a beautiful tragedy, one in a million, perfection and flaw, all that I'll ever be. Love more than anything and lost in the fall. The grand design permeates everything. Listen to songs that the angels sing. It's a fucking atrocity. Left here for dead and then idolized. A model hypocrisy. Led to the summit and left here to die. My source of resilience is lessening. I am reduced to the only thing I know. Send me a savior, send me a light to see, give me a reason to love me. It's a beautiful tragedy. The only conclusion, the only resolve, nothing is left for me. Anything left of me is here to dissolve. It's a beautiful tragedy. One in a million, perfection and flaw, all that I'll ever be. Love more than anything and lost in the fall. The grand design permeates everything. Listen to songs that the angels sing. It's a fucking atrocity. Left here for dead and then idolized. A model hypocrisy. Led to the summit and left here to die. My source of resilience is lessening. I am reduced to the only thing I know. Send me a savior, send me a light to see, give me a reason to love me. It's a beautiful tragedy. The only conclusion, the only resolve, nothing is left for me. Anything left of me is here to dissolve. It's a beautiful tragedy. One in a million, perfection and flaw, all that I'll ever be. Loved more than anything and lost in the fall. The grand design permeates everything. Listen to songs that the angels sing. It's a fucking atrocity.
left here for dead and then idolized. A model hypocrisy. Led to the summit and left to die. My source of resilience is lessening. I am reduced to the only thing I know. Send me a savior, send me a light to see, give me a reason to love me. It's a beautiful tragedy. The only conclusion, the only resolve, nothing is left for me. Anything left of me is here to dissolve.
I gotcha.
It's a beautiful tragedy. One in a million, perfection and flaw, all that I'll ever be. Love more than anything and lost in the fall. The grand design permeates everything. Listen to songs that the angels sing. It's a fucking atrocity. Left here for dead and then idolized. A model hypocrisy. Led to the summit and left to die. My source of resilience is lessening. I am reduced to the only thing I know. Send me a savior, send me a light to see, give me a reason to love me. It's a beautiful tragedy. The only conclusion, the only resolve, nothing is left for me. Anything left of me is here to dissolve. It's a beautiful tragedy. one in a million, perfection and flaw, all that I'll ever be. Loved more than anything and lost in the fall. The grand design permeates everything. Listen to songs that the angels sing. It's a fucking atrocity. Left here for dead and then idolized. A model hypocrisy. Led to the summit and left here to die. My source of resilience is lessening. I am reduced to the only thing I know. Send me a savior, send me a light to see, give me a reason to love me. It's a beautiful tragedy. The only conclusion, the only resolve, nothing is left for me. Anything left of me is here to dissolve. One in a million, perfection and flaw, all that I'll ever be. Loved more than anything and lost in the fall. The grand design permeates everything. Listen to songs that the angels sing. It's a fucking atrocity. Left here for dead and then idolized. A model hypocrisy. Led to the summit and left here to die. My source of resilience is lessening. I am reduced to the only thing I know. It's a beautiful tragedy. The only conclusion, the only resolve, nothing is left for me. Anything left of me is here to dissolve.
Okay, awesome. That's that was hard there, but of course it's better now. There's one more thing. Right now, but then we're gonna take a look just to a little break, and that is
More angry.
Okay.
Or, yeah, anger.
Gotcha.
Or sarcasm, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a whole bunch of great tracks.
Okay.
Let's just try another couple more with, when I told you to ramp it up on fucking atrocity.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have to ramp it up quite as much.
Okay.
So let me listen up for a second.
Sure.
Songs that sing, listen to songs that the angels sing. It's a fucking atrocity.
Okay, I like your guitar more, so let me give you a little more time.
Okay.
Listen to songs that the angels sing. It's a fucking atrocity.
Yeah, let's try it again. That was good though.
It's a beautiful tragedy. Only resolve, nothing is left for me. Anything left of me is here to dissolve. It's a beautiful tragedy. One in a million, perfection and flaw, all that I'll ever be. Loved more than anything and lost in the fall. The grand design permeates everything. Listen to songs that the angels sing. It's a fucking atrocity. Left here for dead and then idolized. A model hypocrisy. Led to the summit and left here to die. My source of resilience is lessening. I am reduced to the only thing I know. It's a beautiful tragedy. The only conclusion, the only resolve, nothing is left for me. Anything left of me is here to dissolve.
Alright, Michael, what has your experience recording the album been like? How you feeling about it?
Experience has been exciting, educational, fun. It's been good. It's been good. Kevin is awesome. He's a genius. He knows how to push you to your best without making you too angry. So he's great to work with. Couldn't imagine doing it with anybody else.
Well, do you feel like you've achieved anything for yourself?
Absolutely, man. I've definitely grown a lot as a musician while being here. Kevin pushed me beyond what I thought I was capable of as a guitar player and as a singer. And I never imagined that the music would turn out the way that it has. Aaron keeps making fun of me because when we first got here, I said, "Oh man, my job's gonna be so easy. I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna do a couple of guitar tracks and I'm just gonna do maybe a vocal track here and there, but I'm barely gonna have anything to do." And I've ended up almost having more to do than anybody. All the guitar layers, all the guitar parts, and then 3 and 4 part vocal harmonies. It's been insane. I've learned a lot. It's been pushed. It's good.
Tell me a little bit more about working with Kevin.
Kevin is he's just awesome, man. Humblest guy you could think of. You see him, you expect one thing, but then as you get to know him, he asks all the right questions. He says all the right things. He knows. He's really good at understanding people and different personality types and really accommodating different personalities in the studio. Most bands are made up of people with clashing personalities, and he really has found a way to bridge those personalities together, and get a team kind of spirit going. Whenever there's any kind of confrontation or disagreement about what to do in a song or on a part, he always just says the perfect thing to get the best solution.
So how about Aaron?
How about Aaron? Aaron fucking kicked ass, man. Aaron kicked ass. He comes in, fucking does his vocals, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, and he's done. He's fucking owned it from day one. He's there all the time, watching everybody do their shit, and always giving people butt pats. Good job, and he's couldn't ask for a better frontman. Couldn't ask for a better frontman. He pushes me to keep up with him. He's the best, man.
This the air conditioner?
Fridge.
It's not gonna shut off. Okay, let's go with brother-in-law, Mr. AP.
AP, my brother. When AP starts playing bass on a song, it's like a train rolling down the tracks. I remember the first day he started playing and started tracking bass. Everybody was kind of sitting around and watching him, waiting to see what was going to happen. There's always like that. There's always like that wonder. The first time Aaron steps in the vocal booth, the first time Brian gets behind the drums. First time for everybody. You're curious to see how they deliver that first time. And when AP did, it was like everybody just got goosebumps. He's a badass, man. Best bass player I've ever played with. He's phenomenal. So he's like a train going down the tracks. Once he gets going, he just doesn't stop.
Okay, let's move on to Richard.
Richard, the mastermind behind the plan. He's love playing guitar with him, man. He's the perfect combination of brains and heart when it comes to music. He's not the theory guy. He's not the shredder guy. He's the this feels right guy. When something doesn't feel right, he's not afraid to say anything about it, and that's important. Nothing gets by him. In terms of if something doesn't feel right, it's not going to get by him, and that's a quality that many people try to get their whole lives, and he just has it naturally. So it's been wonderful watching him grow as a player while we've been here too. It's been wonderful.
Of course, last, Brian Steele Medina.
Mr. Brian Steele Medina. He's kicked ass, man. He's kicked ass this time too. I feel bad for saying how good everybody is, but even him, man. Like he's grown a lot as a drummer. I've watched him, go from the guy who's trying to do as little as possible to he's doing all kinds of crazy double bass shit, all kinds of crazy fills that I didn't even know he could do. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped when I hear the drums. I'm happy for him, man. I'm looking forward to playing it live.
Okay, anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
Good job, Tree. You fucking hanging there the whole time. Capture every moment. More footage than you can swim through. You're the man.
Alrighty. What's your recording experience? The Hideout AP.
It was great. It was great. Everything was amazing. I think we did the best we could on every song. On every song. Got it. Let's definitely begin.
Okay, we'll keep on rolling. A little bit louder. Give me some more voice. Yeah, louder.
Let me get closer.
Right. How do you feel about recording at the Hideout?
Feel great. Can say we are literally done today. We are packing up everything, ready to go back, start practice again.
Louder, louder.
Louder, louder.
Louder, louder.
Man, I cannot be louder than that.
Like we were talking right there. Just like that. Just like you were talking to me. Just loud.
Okay.
Yeah. Confidence. Encouragement.
Confidence. Okay.
Yes.
How do you see it? Okay, so I feel great. I feel great. We are literally done today. We are packing up everything, ready to go back to LA. I start practice again. I'm training my brain to get back to reality. It's gonna be hard because time here has been great. I'm very happy about every song we did. Everyone did the best he could for this record, and I think Kevin, he really captured the identity of this band. That I think was the most important thing to do with us, and I think I can speak for everyone else in this band. We feel blessed for this big opportunity to work with him, one of the best producers, in my opinion, in the world right now. And of course, I wanna thank also Warner Brothers for giving us this big opportunity.
Do you think you learned anything this time around?
What?
You feel like you've learned anything?
Yeah. I mean, in the studio you learn everything. You learn something every day. So you're never done. So yeah. I learned a lot. I still have a lot to learn, and I'm here for it.
Tell me about Aaron.
But Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah, he snored a lot. He's no, I'm kidding. Aaron did great, man. I mean, he always deliver, and I think he always will deliver in the future. And I mean, he pushed himself on a different level from before, and I think he's really finding his real way of singing, and he did great. Again, like everyone else did.
So about Mike?
Mike, same thing. He was a great guitar player, and he has been a great singer too. Mike was actually the biggest surprise in the studio. But I mean, that's just my point of view. Because I know he's good, but he did way more than what I thought he was going to. So I'm very proud of him.
Brian?
Brian, same for him. Great drummer. He changed a lot of stuff on his drumming, on every song. He worked a lot, and I think everyone would be able to listen to everything he did on all those new songs. Because I mean, pretty much the songs are the same songs, but we rearrange everything. We make some changes. And I think it sounds way better than before. It's more stronger. It's heavier. Melodies are more dramatic, and I love it.
Rich?
Same for Rich. He played every part from the beginning to the end, every song, like we were expecting to. From him, same thing. We just did the best we could, and we did it. We did it.
What was your favorite part?
I don't have a favorite part.
Favorite part. What was the good part? What sticks out in your mind as being a good time?
Morning Star. Morning Star. I like this song a lot. I mean, I love every song. I love every song. But Morning Star, yeah, has a special space in my heart. I don't know why. I love it.
Okay. Anything else?
I didn't have enough sushi during those 4 months, but I think I can survive.
Okay, V. Good job.
Thank you.
Record. Okay, Rich. Tell me about your experience at the Hideout studio. Is that right?
The Hideout recording studio.
Yeah.
Experience here was great. Okay. As a kid, you think about, you watch DVDs and you see different things, and you think about like someday it'd be so cool to record an album at a studio for an official reason. Not just hey, working on this in my bedroom or whatever. And this experience has completely been that entire thing, that little vibe in your mind. It's been a great experience, and it's just, there's no words to describe it except just cool. It reaffirms all the dreams of a kid about this process and what it can be and what you hope it'll be and what you imagine it could be.
Kind of like a dream come true.
Yep, and it's weird because on one level, you kind of feel like you made it or you accomplished something, and on a level you did, but it's only, it's like first grade. We still gotta go through all the grades before we really graduate. So it's one of the dreams. It's like going to bed, having the first dream. That dream came true, and now I got to continue dreaming and having the other ones happen afterwards.
Okay. Give me a second here. Get you framed up. Okay. Tell me about Kevin Churko.
Kevin Churko is Canadian, and he's got a beard, and he's just a good person. Something that goes with this band is that everyone's family and everyone has respect for each other, and everyone we work with is on that level with us. And Kevin is just another person, that's like that in our camp and our family. He's not only a great producer or a great writer, he's actually a great person. Somebody that we actually enjoy being around. It's not just, he's really good at his job and that's it. He's very insightful, he's very intelligent and talented, and he's just the perfect fit for us and what we do. And I couldn't imagine working with somebody else on this. It would have been just like clocking in at a job. Like working with Kevin, it just fit hand in hand, and just the work doesn't feel like work. He raised the bar on everyone, pushed everyone to be better. But without any issues or problems. Sometimes people, they push you and they quality control you and make you better, but you kind of get annoyed with them. But it's never like that. Kevin just has the right approach with everything. It's just can't stop saying enough good things about him. He's just good.
Oh.
You got so many things on that camera.
Successorized, for sure. Alright, give me some more insight on your personal experience.
My personal experience, there's so many pieces to it. There's the studio, there's just living in Vegas, there's all the business stuff. You know, it's like, I mean, I don't love living in Vegas. It's a nice change of pace, but it's too friggin' hot. And you know, Vegas, it's like a big miniature golf course, a strip. So, you know, Vegas is 50-50, nice change of pace, but, you know, living here, it's cool. Never gonna want to do it for real. The studio was great. You know, it's just a cool vibe to work in. You know, to me, it fits all the different parts of what you're looking for in an experience like this. Good vibe, good gear, good sounds, good people. You know, I can't say enough about working here. It's just a great place to be. You know, we've been here for 4 months. We're supposed to be here for 2. So, you know, we've been doing a lot of other things, going back and forth between LA and, you know, not extremely excited about, you know, the fact that 2 months turned into 4. But at the same time, though, everything happens for a reason, and everything plays out, you know, a certain way that you don't expect. And the fact that we're here 4 months later, on the surface, kind of like, but, you know, in reality, it's fine. Everything's working out the way it needs to work out, and we've all, you know, developed as people and as a band the way we needed to over that time. So, you know, overall, don't want to live in Vegas, but it's been it's been good that we're here.
Okay, tell me about Aaron and what he did.
Aaron sang, and he sang notes, and that's what he does. Aaron did great. I mean, that's what Aaron is. You know, he goes in and does what he's got to do and knocks it out. What was great about this part of the process with him, well, let's say this way. What was great about him singing this time versus when we first recorded the original like demos, basically, is that he really has stepped up his game. I mean, when he first sang and when we met him, he was great, and he's always been great at shows. But, you know, being in the studio this time, you can definitely tell that it's a different beast. It's more, you know, not to say that he wasn't focused before, but it's just a different kind of focus. And he's really finding more of his own identity for his own voice. He's always been a good singer, but he always gets compared to other people. And I think now he's going to get compared less and less. He's just going to be Aaron. And he's, you know, he does his thing. I couldn't or wouldn't want to have any other singer in my band, because he's my he's the hand on my arm, you know, like he's just he's my partner in crime when it comes to writing stuff, and I don't think anyone that we know could touch him.
Okay, the Alessandro.
AP, he eats lots of vegetables. No, I mean, it's crazy because, like, you know, songs are what they are, and then Kevin even said it, that it's not really our song until AP plays bass on it, and that's completely true. Because, I mean, you know, any bass player could just play the songs and it'd be good, because the song's already good. But he jacks everything up an extra notch, because he plays stuff that none of us would expect, and it's always tasteful, and it's complicated but not complicated, which is like the best thing, you know. Not typical but not crazy, and it definitely, you know, he's a bass player, you know, and not the guitar player that plays bass. He's a real bass player, and, you know, the same thing with him is I couldn't imagine anyone else playing bass except for him, because no one could do the cool little things that he does that adds to the songs that he does. You know, and you know, I'm trying to think, like, you know, I guess a typical thing somebody would say is, you know, he really stepped up his game, but he hasn't stepped up his game because his game's already too good. It's been like that the entire time, and it was just good to see it get, you know, recorded and put down and refined and focused. Nobody else. That's the same thing. I'll say this about everybody in the band, is that nobody, in my mind, could be in this band and touch anyone that's in this band for the role they play. As with AP, it's the same thing. No one could do what he does.
All right, give me a second. Okay, Brian Stubadina.
Ryan Steele Medina. I'm trying to think here. Brian, the recording process for him has been different because Kevin is a drummer, and Kevin, has pushed him to be the drummer that we all know he is. When Brian did the original drum tracks for these songs, he was kind of one zone, and that's how he did it. And then so being here, he has definitely stepped up his game and, writing cooler drum parts, either on his own or in tandem with Kevin, and being really open to a lot of the ideas. So it's been really cool to see the songs develop with his drumming, and he's done a great job at getting everything put down the way he needed to as our foundation. Before, because obviously the drums have to happen first before we can do anything. So, he's been coming in and killing it and doing what he's got to do, and laying the foundation for us to do what we've got to do over it.
And then Mike.
Mike, the funny thing about Mike is, on the first recordings, he wasn't on any of them because we tracked everything before he was in the band, and he's totally making up for it now because he did more on this album than anyone else did, because he sang all of his harmonies, or all of his harmonies, but he sang all the harmonies for the songs, or majority of them, and he played all the guitar parts that he, is going to end up playing live. So, he definitely had the most physical work, and that's just the counterbalance to the fact that, he wasn't around when we did the first, batch of recordings. He's always been a great player, great singer, great team member, and with this situation, he definitely stepped up to the plate and upped the bar on himself even more. He has really high standards for himself and for everyone else, and he definitely met and exceeded those expectations for himself and for everyone else. And him, just like everyone else in the band, like I don't know, how this band would be without, his voice and his fingers, doing what they do for this band. So, it's a great asset, and it's awesome, that he was able to show all his talents on the album.
Okay, last thing. After going through all this, what would you tell aspiring bands to kind of shoot for?
What would I tell other bands so they get in this position? Or if they were in this
Just general knowledge, I suppose, from
general
what you've
knowledge
learned.
for bands, get to work. I mean, I think the general mentality most people have is that you get in a band and you have a good time, and it's just kind of a way of being an adult kid. In a lot of ways, that's true, but there's a balance to everything, and the ability to be an adult kid, being in a band and make music for a living. There's a lot of work that comes into it to allow you to do that. And so, what I would say to anyone that wants to be in this position, that wants to be in a side band, that wants to go tour and do all those things, I would say, get to work. And
Sorry. Scott.
That's good. Carry on. Get to work.
Yeah, so I just say is
I'm not gonna apologize for that. Okay.
I take back every single thing I said about them before.
We're goddamn professionals
They
around
suck.
here. We're fucking professionals.
Yeah.
Round 2. Can't show you that. Round 2 of my energy.
Experience.
Yes. Okay, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, on the surface, everything looks really cool. You're in magazines, you do all that stuff, but the core depth of it is you gotta work. You gotta work at being a better musician. You gotta work on understanding what it is to be in this position and know all the positives and the negatives of being in it. And you gotta work for it, and you gotta be focused. and you know, you got to make the most of your time. You know, you don't want to spend years upon years trying to figure out, you know, what's our sound. What, you know, it's been done a bunch of times. There's tons of bands. There's tons of bands. There's tons of examples of success. Learn, you know, what they all have in common, how they're different, and then apply it to yourself and streamline and get to work and do it all right. You know, it's pretend that this is your only shot. And for a lot of people, it is their only shot. You know, you only live once, so make the most of it and take it seriously. If that's what you know, if you want to take it seriously, then take it seriously. Don't pretend to take it seriously, because that's, you know, especially today with, you know, how society is and how fast things move. You don't have time to get 3 shots. You know, so get to work. That's what I'd say.
All right, count it. Oh, yeah. So, Aaron, Noah, whatever, Aaron Nordstrom, whatever you want to be named as. Describe your experience here at the Hideout Recording Studio in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Well, we were here for just about 4 months. It was hot. I mean, the actual act of being here recording a record with Kevin and everybody involved, you know, not only the band and us, but Kane and Mike and whatnot, was, well, I mean, one of the coolest things I've ever done. To be able to, you know, wake up and record music all day in a cool facility and fucking hang out around that all the time. You know, it's excellent.
Describe working with the Kevin Churko.
Smooth operator, smooth operator. He's very relaxed, but focused at the same time. So it's not like, there's a very good vibe, good, very positive feel to everything. But particularly doing what I do, like, I would always have him talking back to me in my headphones and giving, you know, we'd cycle through a part and I would have a couple of measures to breathe or whatever, a little space, and he'd always be giving me like critiques or guidance or whatever in between each take, which was weird at first, but ended up being one of the most probably beneficial things musically, to have the producer like in your head while you're in the moment, like kind of guiding your course to the ultimate destination, whatever, you know, he was seeing at the time, or, you know, whatever I was trying to do. And we linked up pretty good, I think. And they're just great people, and it's comfortable. And it's a fucking bummer that it's over, man. It's been really fun. Get cozy. Get cozy.
Yeah. Justin.
How's it feel being on camera, Tree?
Terrible.
Try to make this as painless as possible.
Yeah. Doesn't that make you feel good? The stick.
The stick of doom.
Okay, what did you get from all this? You know, the singing, the writing, and
What did I get from it?
what are your feelings about it?
Record. We got a record. That's pretty cool.
Tell me about the experience.
I mean, there was ups and downs in it, and there was some setbacks that weren't awesome, some delays or whatever, but I think as a team between ourselves as Gemini Syndrome as the band, and our team outside of that being, you know, Rob and Eric and TJ and Cheryl and et cetera, and then Kevin and, you know, the Churko family, like all of us together fucking persevered. Like, we made it through it. We made a great fucking album. I'm more proud of this than maybe anything else that I've ever done, you know. I've always enjoyed. I've been playing music since I was 3, man. I've always enjoyed it, and I've always enjoyed pretty much every band I was ever in, and being a part of it. But to have been here from more or less the start and build this from the ground up with fucking you and everybody else, and then to get to this point now where we're, you know, working with somebody as amazing as Kevin at what he does, and at that point of, you know, trying to master your art, I guess, something like that, to be a part of that from the beginning, and see what I've helped create. You know, I mean, it's a crazy good feeling. I go home when we're done here, and I go home and I put on my iPod and I listen to these songs, and I just listen to what we've done, and you know, it's like so cliche, but I fucking put tears into this record, you know what I mean? Like, literally, I fucking cried while I tracked some shit, and there was other times where I was raging fucking angry while I was recording, and that was what the part deserved, and to be part of a group of people that not only accepts that and accepts me for the crazy fucking person I am, and the crazy emotional being that I can be at times, and not only accept it, but foster it and help it grow into something creative is fucking incredible, man. Like, I'm blessed to do what I do, I guess is the point. I'm blessed to be around the people that I'm around.
Speaking of people you're around, how about the AP? What?
Fuck Italy. Cut that. I'm kidding. AP is one of the most talented musicians I've ever met. And that's just as far as talent goes. He's incredible at what he does. He's quirky, as is every single person in this project. Inside the band or directly related to it, we're all fucking weirdos. But he's very kind and very polite, and pretty much always lighthearted. Except for when he wakes up in the middle of the night to smoke a cigarette and doesn't want to talk to anybody, but that's different. But everyone involved has become family, you know, on a level that's more than just, you know, being in a band together, being like business professionals or something, because it is our career, it's our work, but, you know, you have to foster that kind of, you have to love each other, man, and I certainly do with everybody. But I don't know, I fucking love all you guys. AP's great though. We have a little game now we play where we surprise ninja attack each other, because I almost face kicked him once when he was coming out of his room at like 3 a.m. and I hid in the shadows, and he was all fucking coming out all tired, and he was gonna smoke a cigarette, and I like did a jumping front kick and missed him by about that far, and the look on his face was fucking priceless. And since then, now we constantly like walk around like, hey man, check it out. What? Bam! So he's playful too, but you know.
Okay, let's move on to Brian.
What can you say about a drummer that hasn't already been said?
I'm sure you got something.
Again, like Brian and AP, it's kind of weird how I think that really the 6 of us, because you're the one that's with us most constantly, it usually pairs off into Brian and AP, me and Mike, and you and Rich. For whatever reason, it's just the 23 mechanism that happens there, and that's awesome. But Brian say he's like lighthearted, you know, and Brian like surprises me in ways that I don't think anybody else does. Like there's been a couple times now where I was having dinner at the bar across the Putters across the street from the place, and I was sitting by myself and either having a weird night or a bad night or whatever, and just out of the blue, Brian shows up and he's standing next to me at the bar. I'm like, it's just always very like in the clinch. He's always there. He always shows up unexpectedly to like save the day. But he brings I think an air of like, hey man, it's gonna be okay to everybody. even sometimes in the worst situations, which is awesome. I think every conglomerate of people needs somebody like that, needs that fucking energy. Not only that, I mean, he's incredibly creative. He contributes writing not just drums, but contributes, you know, actual like music, not like note ideas and stuff and riffs and whatnot. And he did a great job singing the Hose in Resurrection. It was pretty good. Are they all gonna see this later? I hope I'm not.
I mean, not necessarily.
Yeah.
Maybe way down the road. But probably not today. We got time for these. Brian, Mike.
Mike Chupacabra Salerno. He is he's a great human being, man. He's young, spry as a motherfucker, totally driven, always trying to like improve his skill sets, and again, like everybody, man, just a really loving person. Has his moments where, you know, him and I both have tempers at times, but I think you almost need that to, I think we all kind of do, but you need that to do what we do and play the kind of music we do. But again, always there for me if I need him. And as a musician, I mean, in the last 4 months, watching him progress, I mean, as a singer and a guitar player, both, was really, I mean, impressive. It was really impressive what he was able to accomplish. And it's funny, like, I remember the first week we were here, and him and I were fucking talking. He's like, I'm gonna have the easiest job of all of us. And I was like, yeah, you probably are. And it's like, no, I mean, he's saying technically, I think, more on the record than I did, because he's doing all the backup stuff, most of it anyway. And Kevin just pushed him to become something incredible. So that always amuses me, and he'll never live that down. I don't have the easiest job in the band. Yeah, not only that, but now you get to sing these parts and play guitar too. Ha ha. So that really, you know, he stepped up in a way that was necessary. Bass.
Here we go. Let's do Rich now.
Fucking captain of the ship, man. He's he was the first person to contact me, you know, brought me into this, and from day one on Faith just accepted me for the way I was and invited me into his home, your home, and fucking, you know, we built this city on rock and roll. Again, like all of us, man, he's a quirky motherfucker. He's weird. He's crazy in his own ways. He's a brilliant songwriter. He's a good guy, great guy, and has had, I mean, I think probably more faith in this than any of us, because it was even around with him before any of us were involved, and he's really, I mean, you have to be amazed by somebody who can take a vision from the ground up and build it and stick through it through the hard times and the good times alike. I mean, he's a facilitator of us with our family and our extended family, as far as like friends and our peers go, just making sure that everybody feels like they're part of a community and they belong. And I've never really seen anybody do that the way he does, which is pretty awesome. You know, there's been so many times where, you know, we're sitting at the apartment before this record process started, and I'd hear him playing through his door, and I'd go into the room like, what the fuck is that? What are you playing? And it would, you know, it turned out more than once to be one of the songs on this record that just like moved me from the minute I just heard the notes. It wasn't even a whole developed idea yet. You know, he's just got kind of a really great vision, and brought us all together in a sense to kind of help facilitate each other do our jobs better, and created a family, you know, which is great to be involved in. So.
Okay. You said something about, the emotion and such that goes into, putting the song out. Can you elaborate a little bit more on, the feelings and stuff you put into your singing and writing?
I mean, it depends on the song, I guess, obviously. It depends on, if it's a fucking angry song, if it's a sad song, or if it's something that, even in those emotions, one of my, I guess, like, more or less subconscious goals or something, it's not subconscious because I'm bringing it up, but is to try to stay as positive as possible, because I'm not the most positive person, and I try to be, but I'm really not. And I would rather try to say something to people that is uplifting, even in the midst of chaos and bullshit and life happening. I would rather it be somewhat hopeful anyway, But, yeah, sometimes you just hear a song, you hear a riff or whatever, and for me, it'll strike an emotion, and usually if I feel that particular pulse or whatever, that's what ends up happening. I don't second guess myself and try to rewrite it as far as like, well, maybe I should take this other perspective. It's like, you feel how you feel. And, there's been a couple songs that were really personal to me that I had to kind of go to a place in my memory that is more or less painful that I didn't want to. And, yeah, I would come out, man. I'd be in the fucking booth here and fucking tracking and crying, fucking trying to choke through the lines. And I mean, I don't see a reason to play music or create art, I guess, more importantly, other than to express what you feel and experience in this life and try to put it into a tangible form that you can share with people. But it's not always the easiest task, man, There's times I was fucking pacing back and forth, just like growling at myself, either because the part was angry and I was going to that place, or sometimes because I didn't fucking get it right the first time and I get pissed at myself. But that almost facilitates, being more in that moment. So it's, I think like all good art, it should be emotion driven. It should come from that place. That's why it's not fucking for everybody. That's why not everybody does what we do. It's not even really a matter of can't. I think anybody, in a sense, could learn to play an instrument and learn to play music. It's just mathematics in a certain way, but to be able to create it, you have to be an artist, and you have to go to those fucking dark, nasty places that you'd rather not sometimes in order to help benefit people. I mean, that's why I do what I do, coming from, being a kid and listening to music and going through a tough time like everybody does when we're fucking teenagers and blah, blah, blah. And the hardships that life gives you, and you hear a song that, can trigger something that either makes you feel better or maybe helps you get out the negativity by being pissed or by crying or fucking whatever in between that might be. That's the fucking point of doing what I do, I guess. It's my therapy.
Okay, now that this is all done, what are you looking forward to?
Hopefully a great future, man. Go home. We'll practice. We'll hit the road. We'll go back out and continue doing this every day and get to see the country and the world and meet other people, meet great people, and then come back here in a couple of years and do another record, and then rinse and repeat. And hopefully do that until nobody wants to do it anymore. Play music. Sit in a van with you guys. Hopefully a bus. Hopefully we upgrade from Pegasus. Pegasus is great, but having a bunk would be awesome. But yeah, hopefully making this, you know, a lifelong thing.
All right. It's comfortable for you, Brian. Okay, maybe not that.
It's pretty comfortable. What else do you go?
Okay. Give me your thoughts about the entire experience in Vegas.
Wow.
I mean,
Okay.
give me what you feel, you know.
What am I feeling? I'm feeling Kevin pushed my drumming to a whole new level, for sure. I mean, this whole experience has been not what I expected, for sure. I tried not to come in with expectations, but having experienced it, the way that Kevin works and how we're able to take what we had and get the most out of it. Basically, like everything we had was a seed, and now it's blossoming into something completely different, and it's grown into something that, as a collection, it's hard to even relate it to what we came here with, you know? And especially just Kevin being a drummer and pushing me to do things drumming that really challenge me, you know, mentally and physically, which is good because I haven't, you know, done that in a long time. I kind of was in my comfort zone for a long time, and now I feel like I've really pushed myself to a whole new level. And stuff. Ask me another question.
No, not it.
I don't know what the,
Give me a little bit more about Kevin.
Well, the fact that Kevin's a drummer, we're able to talk on a level that, you know, he's able to not only understand my style but also help me grow within my style. You know, I'm definitely pushing outside of my comfort zone, but it's under the umbrella of what I'm trying to create with my style and the way that I write drum parts.
Okay. Tell me about how Aaron did.
Aaron has completely blown me away. I'll be running on the treadmill and I'll just pull up his lyrics and just read them as I'm running while I'm listening to the song, and it blows me away how when you listen to the song, you're feeling it even if you don't even know exactly what he's saying, and then when you actually read the words and you actually understand what he's saying literally, I mean it's amazing. Because I know where he's coming from personally. I mean, he writes ambiguously and he writes in a way that leaves it open to interpretation, which is great because more people can relate to it. So it's interesting seeing that process where he'll write something and it's very general, but you know what it's about. You know, from everything from like Basement, which is super old school, to especially Pleasure and Pain. I mean, that song, the chorus in that song, which was pretty much written here at the studio, is lyrically some of his most powerful stuff to me personally.
Alessandro.
Is my English no good for you? Alessandro Paveri. he came in and he tore it. He was one take Jack, just nonstop. He just came in and threw down. He blew everyone away. You know, came in creative, chops, fast, quick, raw. Lots of wah. Wah, wah, wah.
Mike?
Golden guy Mike Salerno got to really push himself and challenge himself this album, doing a lot of vocals, a lot of harmonies, and really adding a whole other layer and dimension with the guitar and the counter melodic stuff that's happening. You know, he really had to. I think of anyone on this album, he's the one that had to step up the most. Rich came in, and I mean, we had to write. Rich came to the table with 3 new songs, you know, on the spot. We tracked Pleasure and Pain, which was in its roughest form when we came in here. Not to mention, you know, Pay for This, which is new, and everything was solid. You know, he came in, he did his shit, and out of the park. Trey Rudolph. The guy behind the eye.
Okay, lastly, what are you looking forward to now that this is done?
I'm looking forward to getting out and playing these songs live.
All right. All right.
You'll have to adjust it.
Rolling.
Yeah, I really expect a lot of big things from Gemini, and very excited that I was here at the start of it all, and hopefully I'll be here at the end of it all. I want to do record 2, I want to do record 3. You know, our careers will grow with each other. What the hell is going on? Let me write my essay in 5 seconds or less.
Sure. I'll just keep it rolling.
Okay. Working with Gemini has been a pretty fantastic, wonderful experience. As far as rock and roll goes, I mean, we've had a lot of fun. We've, you know, gone through, oddly enough, in a few short months, you know, gone through a lot of sort of torturous times, both them and me. And, you know, Aaron is always tortured, but the rest of us aren't. And you know, they really stand their ground, and they really stick to what they want to do, and they know what they want to do, and that's more important. I'm really happy to have them in my sort of roster of bands. I mean, again, I'm very thankful for the people I work with, and Gemini is in that list, and not at the bottom of that list. I mean, I fully expect to do record number 2 with them, record number 3. You know, hopefully for me, record number 4, I'm sure they'll go on to other bigger and better things. But, you know, I really see us working with each other for a long time. I think it's a really good working situation, as well as personal. You know, they're great people. I'd have more to my house. I'll let them babysit my kids, even though my kids are way too old. Yeah, I guess that would be it. Gemini rocks.
Camera 3.
So that's close enough?
Oh yeah.
So you just got my head or my whole body?
This is, I could see your knee and just above your head.
Okay. So I should be, can I go like this though when I...
Oh yeah. You've got room to swim around a little bit if you want to.
Hello, my name is Kevin.
Is this leg better or is this leg better? I don't.
Should be sitting like this.
There you go. Hand on your pants like Al Bundy. Just fucking chilling.
All right, shoot.
I'll leave you to it.
Out of the way.
All right. After recording with.
Look at you or looking at.
Look at me. Or actually, just look in this direction. I might move around, but look at this panel. Look at this panel right here.
Just talk to the band.
Talk to the panel. Okay, so after recording the band, what do you think about the experience and the band as a whole?
I think Gemini is one of the most original bands that I've worked with. I think that between the kinds of songs they write, the kind of singer, the visual aesthetic, you know, they have an albino lead singer, an Asian guitar player, an Italian bass player. I mean, they're pretty much visually an original band, and I think that musically, they're quite surprised in the sense that they've done some melodic things I don't really hear a lot of sort of rock bands try or do. So I'm very excited about that.
Okay. What do you think of Aaron as a singer and as a person?
Oh, these are gonna be personal questions too.
Yeah, well, I mean, just the guys. Just
Okay.
the guys.
Aaron is fantastic. He is by far not the biggest surprise, because I kind of expected going into it that, you know, he would have something to say. I knew he'd have something to say because of his background and his history. I just didn't know how musical he would be and actually how talented that he would be. I've been lucky to work with a lot of great singers in my life, you know. Of course, everybody from, you know, Ozzy to Maria Brink from This Moment to Ivan from Five Finger, and Aaron is right up there with all those guys. He's a great singer and I think even more importantly, a great writer. But he really has his own voice, you know, as far as the notes he chooses. One of the best lyricists I've ever worked with. I mean, he's the only guy where, you know, I can give him a change and, you know, say this has to be changed, or we got to write this extra section or something like that. And I turn around and work for 2 seconds. I turn back and he's already got it done. So that really doesn't happen much. It's usually a little bit more pulling teeth when you're writing lyrics, and he's really a fantastic writer. As a person, you know, I'm sure nobody's ever going to fault him. He's a great guy and definitely you know, one of the closest guys in the band for me.
Okay. Same thing for AP.
AP again. You know, I'll take that back. Aaron, I had expected Aaron to be pretty outstanding, but AP was a little bit hidden in the fact that I really only got to see him live once. I had no idea he was as good as he is. I mean, AP lives for bass. He has one goal in mind, and that is musical excellence. He really plays bass unlike any other sort of heavy bass player that I've known. The first couple songs, I just kind of sat back and watched him. It was so fun to just watch him play and listen to him play. So, very surprising and very exciting.
Okay. So can we move on to Brian?
Am I giving a personal on each guy too?
You know, just whatever really comes out. If you know, if something about them comes out, cool. If not,
I don't have to assess these person's traits.
Yeah, it's whatever feels right.
Brian, you know, usually for me being a drummer, it's always kind of a touchy thing working with other drummers. Even though I've been lucky again with the people I've worked with, they've been great. But because I know the inner workings of the drum mind, I can sometimes be a little bit harder on those guys than say a guitar player that I don't know how to play. So Brian was fantastic. He really came to the plate and was very, very easygoing and very accommodating, and really just had the truest of intent. He just wanted the record to be great, and he just wanted his tracks to be good but appropriate for the band. And I think he was more surprised than I was surprised that he was as good of a player as he is. I think I'm happy that I was able to bring a few things out of him, out of his playing, that he hasn't done in a long time. So it was very exciting to, you know, almost watch him get better over the course of a record. And I don't think I really made him better at all, as much as just reminded him you can play those great things, and you can play more than you think that you can. I mean, there's kind of a time in drumming where we've kind of been a lot more minimalistic players, and I think that time is done. And I think that it was fun to watch Brian kind of extend his parts a little bit more and play a little more fills and have a little bit more fun. and if I could just get him to stay off that phone, life would be great.
Like it.
I'll try to get a little bit of comedy in there for you, just so you can have a good time.
Some of the breakaway too. Like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got lots for AP, man. He's a card. Should I keep on looking up here still?
Yeah. Same panel. Do you wanna go back to AP?
Yeah, okay, I'll go back to AP.
Okay.
As a person, AP, you know, I could probably do without him. He's a little too loud. He's a little too obnoxious. Wouldn't shut up. But, you know, you put up with that because he's brilliant. No, of course I'm kidding. He's so understated and quiet that I don't even notice if he's in the room until he starts playing, which is fantastic then to watch him play. But definitely one of the quietest guys I've ever worked with in my life. And but definitely, you know, he's really got an ear for what's good and what's not good, and he's sit there, won't say words, and when he does say something finally, it means something. And I listen to him a lot because I figure if he's going to tell me anything, I better listen because he's only going to tell me one thing that day. So that's pretty. You know, he's a pretty perceptive person. What else was I going to say about him? You can cut out this part while I'm thinking. I can't remember. We'll
That's good. We'll move on. We'll move on to Mike.
Okay. Mike Salerno, or as I like to call him, Tex. As mentioned, there's so many personalities in this band. He's the Tennessee boy, and youngest guy in the band, but one of the oldest souls, I would think. Fantastic human being, really sort of the next generation of player and human being that I don't really come across that much in this business or in any business. At only 22, I mean, he's got a pretty decent mind and a pretty, and he's a fantastic player. I mean, again, I didn't, you know, I heard the demos and I saw the band, but you don't really know the players until you start working with them. And he definitely surprised me as how, not only how good he was, but really how good he wanted to be. And I think that's the thing you don't really find a lot these days is with, you know, guitar players is excellence. That, you know, not many of them really want to be that great. They want to be good enough to play what they have to play, and that's it. Mike wants to be as good as he possibly can, and that's something that I really appreciate. And in my generation, all tried to be as good as we could. And I don't think that, you know, the kids these days, I don't think that they always, you know, work as hard as they should or practice as hard as they should. But Mike definitely does, and I would really be expecting big things from him over the next couple of years. And he's an excellent worker. He fixed a whole bunch of things in my studio here, so I appreciate that. All right, next guy.
Mike, Rich is the last one.
Well, we went through it long.
Yep. Went alphabetical order. It's easy to remember that way.
I think you know, Rich, of course, is sort of the brains of the whole thing, and it's kind of his baby. I mean, it doesn't the band doesn't happen without Aaron, and the other guys are such fantastic players and support system. But you know, really, if it wasn't for Rich, there wouldn't be a Gemini syndrome, and you know, he's helped create a unique identity for it, and he's got far further forward vision than anybody I know, including me. I mean, he's got a master plan 10 years down the road, and you know, I have a master plan until 6. But Rich is really you know, incredible forward-thinking person who's really thinking about the bigger picture of things and not just the little things. He really cares about the big picture, and I think in every band you need that guy, and Rich is that guy. Plus he's written a bunch of wonderful songs too, so you know, everybody in the band, you know, really is a stand-up guy. You know, there's not a bad apple in the bunch, and you know, they're really going to go on to do some big things, and I'm feel very privileged and very thankful that I'm here at the start of it all. That's a good ending, little part there.
Oh yeah.
Anything else?
Trying to think. Is there anything that you know, that you can say to kind of promote, you know, your studio?
For my studio?
Or for yourself, or is there anything you want to kind of try to get out there? You know, use the opportunity.
Okay. I mean, not really anything necessarily that I really want to, you know, promote myself, but I'll definitely say a couple things here.
Okay.
Let me write my essay in 5 seconds or less.
Sure. I'll just keep it rolling.
Okay. Working with Gemini has been a pretty fantastic, wonderful experience. As far as rock and roll goes, I mean, we've had a lot of fun. We've, you know, gone through, oddly enough, in a few short months, you know, gone through a lot of sort of torturous times, both them and me. And, you know, Aaron is always tortured, but the rest of us aren't. And you know, they really stand their ground, and they really stick to what they want to do, and they know what they want to do, and that's more important. I'm really happy to have them in my sort of roster of bands. I mean, like, you know, again, I'm very thankful for the people I work with, and Gemini is in that list and not at the bottom of that list. I mean, I fully expect to do record number 2 with them, record number 3. You know, hopefully for me, record number 4, I'm sure they'll go on to other bigger and better things. But, you know, I really see us working with each other for a long time. I think it's a really good working situation, as well as personal. You know, they're great people. I'd have more to my house. I'll let them babysit my kids, even though my kids are way too old. Yeah, I guess that'd be it. Gemini rocks.
That was great, Kevin.
A couple of little things in there you can use.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is the hit.
Fuck that D-string, motherfucker!
That was very tenacious D.
Yes, it very much was.
Very much so.
I just watched Pick of Destiny the other day. Might have something to do with it.
You now have a track email, Kevin.
My hands, because that makes me look too. I'm gonna put my arm around his back. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
The part where you think he was gonna go down, but he went kind of up instead. Now it's back to the part of the song that we love, where we're singing and dancing and loving and smacking our wallet chains, trying to make us fuck you, and he's here to fucking lay it down, just in case you fucking didn't know. That's the task at hand. But let me tell you again, we are losing the focus for this. Hey fuck you, D-String! This is the part of the song that we recognize. This is the part of the song that we recognize. This is the part that we can all sing out.
guess what? The
Wait, there's
record's
more.
done. I'm not doing any more songs.
Except for that one.
I'm the boss, and I'm not doing any more songs.
I am now officially sweating.
That's
Absolutely.
really good. Mutually glad.
You know, the only thing that we didn't get right, I think, Tree, is on the interviews, you should have been asking you about Noah, not about Aaron.
Ah. I brought that up with Aaron. I did bring that up with Aaron.
We'll
No, I mean Noah.
So anyway,
I mean,
it was
Noah.
a pleasure working with Noah.
No, and we'll fucking put your voice through that effect where when you're on like gangland and shit where they don't want to be known.
Yeah. Sometimes it was hard to get him to the studio, but every time Noah came in, he was awesome.
So I'm gonna get my bass drum and a couple things out of the drum room tonight, or whenever he packs the trailer.
Now.
I'm gonna
Sunday,
use your bass drum for the toy stuff.
Okay.
Maybe the toy stuff tomorrow. Or
Oh,
Sunday.
so it'll sound good then.
Yeah, it'll sound better.
We'll bring out the big hands now that the guys are going.
Yeah,
Now we're gonna make the drum sound good.
Yeah, this one's better because it's black.
You guys all got your little gloves? No. I got half gloves and I was
Oh, I don't remember. Ah. Foil the gate.
Let's see, where's the other boat?
You just fucking holler. When you need something.
It's tough working this hard. It really is. It's tough working this hard. I haven't done this kind of physical work.
That's not right either.
Do we need to?
Oh no, I'm good. I forgot one.